guys. I do want to cover this case. I might have to be doing highlights or, watching them somewhat slower, but I do want to do the Tennessee versus Megan Boswell case. And I figured I'd give you a little bit of a review of what this case is going to be about, attempt to do clips and give you a little bit more information about what this case looks like, what it is going to be about, and kind of give you a sort of look at what's going to be going on in this particular, trial that we know of so far. Now, I will say that this will be it involves the death of a little baby girl. So obviously it's not going to be the easiest one to cover or to follow. So if this is not going to be your jam because it involves a kid, I totally understand. But without much more rambling from me, let's get into this. So, Tennessee versus Megan Boswell, baby Evelyn murder trial. Again, this is going to be hard. That beautiful baby girl was such a sweet little angel. Look at those big sparkly blue eyes and that, beautiful little baby hair and the little the little bow on her head. I mean, this is going to be incredibly difficult. Tennessee, and this is from Court TV's staff, but the East Tennessee's mother, who is charged with unaliving her 15-month-old daughter, is standing trial 6 years after the child was last seen alive. Megan Boswell is now facing 19 charges in the death of Evelyn Mae Boswell, the toddler who had not been seen since December 19th and was reported missing in February 2020. Her remains were later found weeks later in a shed belonging to Megan's grandfather. Megan initially told state investigators that her daughter was with her father, who was stationed with the Army in Louisiana, then later said that her mother had taken Evelyn to a campground in Virginia, but authorities saw no sign of the little girl there. Now, Megan was charged with false reporting before being charged with more serious offenses, including felony murder, CA, child neglect, and abuse of a corpse. Prosecutors have filed a notice to seek life imprisonment without the possibility of parole for Megan. Now, jury selection is scheduled to begin today. Now, we have a little bit of a more in-depth article here from a local news outlet. So, trial set to begin for East Tennessee mother who is accused of unaliving her 1-year-old daughter. Megan Boswell's daughter Evelyn Boswell was found dead in March 2020 after a weeks-long Amber Alert search. The case gained national attention at the time. Now, I remember this case. So at first, she kind of tried to lay blame at the baby's father, saying, no, we have, good custody. She's just, down with her father, having some daughter bonding time with her active duty military father, who's in the middle of doing all training, and probably wouldn't have time to really spend time with his daughter. But that was kind of the first excuse she made. And then her mother, who has various and sundry legal, scrapes in and of her own self. Then Megan said that her mother had taken, Evelyn, and she was afraid of her mother because her mother was in with scary people. So they, did the Amber Alert, went in, to find the mother, and she's not with the mother either. So this was an incredibly heartbreaking wild goose chase that Megan sent all these people on, not unlike Letitia Stalk. So I am going to play this. This will be her walking into court, hopefully. Yes, they found this beautiful, innocent, sweet baby girl thrown away like a piece of trash in a garbage can in a storage facility or a storage shed out on her grandfather's property. It's just an incredibly sad case. The trial is set for a Sutherland County woman accused of unaliving her 15-month-old daughter in early 2020 and is set to begin this week. Megan Boswell is accused of unaliving her child, Evelyn Boswell, and trying to cover up her death. Now, the case gained statewide and national attention in February 2020 when investigators began a weeks-long Amber Alert search for the toddler before eventually finding her remains inside a trash can on family property. Megan Boswell faces a litany of charges, including felony murder, premeditated first-degree murder, aggravated CA, aggravated child neglect, tampering with evidence, abuse of a corpse, and multiple counts of false reporting in connection with the death of her toddler, Evelyn Boswell. Evelyn Boswell disappeared in Sullivan County in December 2019. However, she was not reported missing until 2 months later in February 2020, after her grandfather, Tommy Boswell Sr., contacted authorities. Now, Tommy Boswell Sr. is going to be a major player. He was the grandfather of Megan. He is also, unfortunately, the gentleman on whose property Megan hid her daughter's body. So just in a family dynamic scheme, you have this grandfather who is looking for his great-granddaughter, is the first one to contact about, his granddaughter not being anywhere that he can tell. The mother, Megan, doesn't call in this missing person. She doesn't, tell anyone that her daughter is missing. It's absolutely insane. Now, on February 19th, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation and Sullivan County Sheriff's Office launched an Amber Alert for Evelyn. Officials initially sought a gray BMW reportedly stolen to find Megan Boswell's mother, Angelina Boswell, and her boyfriend at the time. Now, the two were found in Wilkes County, North Carolina, a few days later and arrested for shoplifting. As the search went on, Megan Boswell spoke to news outlet in the Tri-City areas of Northeast Tennessee. She claimed that her mother knew where Evelyn Boswell was, saying that Angelina Boswell had given the child to an unknown person, stating that Angela Boswell had, but that Evelyn was both safe and would have a better life. She also claimed, falsely, Megan did, that she was pregnant in order to try to get out of a, polygraph test. On February 25th, investigators arrested Megan Boswell and charged her with 1 count of false reporting. The Tennessee Department of Children's Services also launched its own investigation into Evelyn Boswell's disappearance. By February 28th, TBI had received more than 700 tips in the search for Evelyn. They focused their search area on Evelyn's home in Bloutville. On March 6, about 2 weeks after issuing the Amber Alert, the TBI announced investigators had found what appeared to be Evelyn Boswell's remains in an outbuilding on the Bloutville property of one of Megan Boswell's family members. The TBI said that her remains were inside a trash bag inside a trash can. Now, the family described that building as a playhouse that Megan Boswell's father had built for her as a child. Evelyn Boswell was wearing clothes that her family had reported her missing in. Investigators also found diapers and toys around her body. On March 11th, the TBI confirmed that those remains were in fact Evelyn Boswell's, and the case records were sealed due to extensive and intense public attention. On May 6th, investigators identified a new person of interest in the toddler's death, later revealed to be Megan Boswell. Days later, she was charged with more than 10 counts of falsely reporting to a grand jury after she lied to detectives and TBI agents multiple times about where her child could be found. Now, on August 19th, Megan Boswell was formally charged with felony murder for her daughter's death, along with aggravated child, or CA, neglect and tampering with evidence, and abuse of a corpse. The state of Tennessee announced in December 2020 that it would not seek the death penalty for Megan Boswell. In September 2022, a forensic pathologist testified during a hearing that he believed that the toddler had died from asphyxia, or lack of airway. It is thought that Evelyn Boswell suffocated by 4 mechanisms. She was smothered by a blanket and aluminum foil and was upside down in a trash can lined with a trash bag. The TBI said the mother claimed that she or her boyfriend had rolled over on the toddler while they were asleep in bed, claiming she didn't know where Evelyn's body was. Now, the TBI said the claim was a lie, and the prosecution said they believe Megan made up this claim to pin responsibility for her daughter's death on another person. In June 2024, it was announced that Megan Boswell faced an additional charge of premeditated first-degree murder. She also pled guilty to that charge. Quote, "All I can tell you is based on additional evidence that we obtained after the initial presentment, we also decided that an additional charge for first-degree murder was premeditated." Sullivan County District Attorney General, Barry Stava said. Now the road to the trial amid a national spotlight. Oh, no, I don't want to. All right, sorry. 1 second. So the case gained national attention. Many community members came together during the search and continued to honor Evelyn's memory with events and tributes. In the wake of Evelyn's death, Tennessee legislators passed Evelyn's Law, the legislation that requires parents or guardians to report a child missing within 24 hours, ensuring that quicker action can be taken in critical cases. Because of the case's popularity, the legal process has faced challenges and setbacks. Megan Boswell's defense tried to get a judge to sever the false reporting claims from the murder and abuse charges. The state argued that the circumstances behind the multiple false reporting charges were relevant to the murder investigation to show Megan's state of mind and present a motive. Now, Judge Jim Goodwin denied the defense's request to sever the charges. The defense has also argued for a change of venue due to the case's notoriety, which was also denied. Now, approximately 1,200 potential jurors are expected to be called. When you have such a polarizing case where folks have incredibly strong feelings, it's going to be very tough for the criminally accused to get a fair trial, Jones said. Now, jury selection is slated to begin on February 3rd. So today, after being postponed during a December 2024 hearing. So that's kind of this case in a nutshell. I will be going up, and Megan Boswell, in her extreme arrogance or extreme most Sarah Boone, not intentionally moment, has given multiple interviews, and I will be reviewing those next. But it is absolutely going to be a heart-wrenching case, but I think it needs to be covered. I remember this being a huge case and one that really brought me back to starting to like true crime, because I can absolutely say that something smelled wrong on this case. From the moment, I saw this interview with this young mother from Tennessee who just misplaced her toddler, as you do. So anyways, despite the snark, that is what we will be looking at this week. Hopefully we will get a jury seated and we can start covering this case and give Evelyn the voice for justice that she did not have on this earth. She can get, a whole cadre of mama and papa bears from this particular channel to really keep her going, because this beautiful baby girl did not deserve to, have her mom do this to her. And you know what? It is a trial. She is presumed innocent. So maybe she will have compelling evidence as to why this was an accident. But it's going to have to be really compelling, because her behaviors, her actions, and everything else have just shown me a disinterested mother who was tired of having a baby cramp her style and wanted to just, be a wild and out sort of person with no kids or responsibilities. And it's a pretty powerful, story that you're going to have to challenge as the defense, that she was a good mom, because I'm not buying this. I'm not buying this. She was an overwhelmed mom who made a mistake, and it was an accident, unintentional, if you will. Seems very intentional to put your baby in a trash can, but that's just my thoughts on it. This is going to be a crazy case. Thank you guys for letting me cover this and for supporting my work here. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And, you know, it helps me with the algorithms and such. Thank you so much. Goodbye, guys.